Very good evening, guys, and welcome to my channel, The Data Dude. So, this is the first video of our video series, Python for Data Science. So, let's get started. So, basically, first thing what came to our mind is what is Python. It's a programming language, as you all know. It's a high-level language. So, if we talk about high-level language, it's easy to read syntax. Like you want to add something, there is syntax called sum by which you can add something. So it's a high level language. Third thing, it's a interpreted language. So what is interpreted language is machine runs one instruction at a time. Like if you give a machine instruction that print hello world, then it will print only hello. There is 5 instruction written, they will execute one by one. The fourth thing, Python is a case sensitive language. And the last, it's a object oriented programming language. So everyone thinks like why we use Python, especially for data science. So answer is the first thing, it's easy to use. So for beginner, even like data science people from programming background as well as from non-program background want to learn data science, right? The ones who's from non-programming background or non-CS computer science background, for them Python is very easy to use. They can learn it like very fast. Same second thing, simple syntax which is easy to adopt for beginner. As I told you, if you want to add two numbers, there's a syntax called sum. If you want to count few words, there is syntax called count. So there is simple syntax, but any beginner can understand and learn. Third thing, suited for quick prototyping. So this will, you are going to learn forward by going forward in this course. The fourth thing is libraries availability. This is a very important part of Python. Like Python contains library for every task, be it a data import, be it a data cleaning. There is a separate library for data cleaning, there is a separate library for data importing, there is a separate library for statistics, there is a separate library for modeling purpose, there are separate libraries for machine learning as well. So it has a very vast group of libraries, I must say. The fifth thing, it's a great community support. If you ever get any error in your Python program, just copy the error, paste it on Google, and you can see there is thousands of result that why this error happened, because nowadays everyone is using Python for data science. So it's a great community support. So this is the 5 points. That's why we use data science, sorry, Python for data science. So let's deep dive into world of Python. Okay, so let me open my Jupyter notebook. So last time we saved a file and I have updated few things on that file, which is Python basics. Yeah, here it is. Yes. So let's start with, okay, so before starting and going into the Python syntaxes and everything, let me show you something. If you type this command, import this, there's a poem written by Tim Peters about the Python. The poem's name is The Zen of Python, and this is kind of similar to the properties of Python, which is beautiful is better than ugly, explicit is better than implicit, simple is better than complex. Well, I try to make videos on this phrase that simple is better than complex. I try to make my videos as simple as that can a beginner can easily understand what I'm telling him. So let's start. You can read all the poem. So first command is print. Print command. Right? If I want to print anything, like I want to get in output, hello world, hello Python learners. So the first rule you can learn from here. Uh, if you want to write any word or any letter, you have to follow the single quote or double quote. Like if you want to write because, you can't write this. Print because, you will get an error. So whenever you write any letter, you just to make sure that you will fill it with single quote or double quote, right? So let's see, if we want to contain some number, we will contain it in variables. Like I want to contain number 78, so I want to contain it in a equal to 78. Now I want to contain a number, another number b, and I want to contain 75 in it, and let me execute. Nothing will shown up. Now I want to see what contains in a, so I will simply say print a 78, print b 75. Now I want to add these two, a plus b 153. So the a and b called variables. The variables is the container. We can say container where we can contain numbers, values, letters, words, anything we want to contain. Okay. So let's say a very basic thing. Let me give you a few more examples. Like I want to save Python in A, in B I want to store is the programming language. Now I want to see what A contains. Print A Python, print B is a programming language. We can add print A plus B. Python is a programming language. Okay. So let's learn how to put comments on Python language. We can write hash and write any comment. Because is my name. Now this line will not execute. This is called single line commenting. If we want to do multi-line commenting, then there is three single quotes. Python is very important language. So this is a multi-line command. This line will not execute. If we say print a, it will not execute. It will shown as a comment. So why we need comments? Like when we share our code with some other people, so if there is 1,000 lines of code, so how they will understand what you written? So if you make a comment that yeah, this particular line of code is about importing of data, this particular line of code about imputing missing values, and this particular line of code about treating outliers, so that can be easy to understand the other people who seeing your code, that what you have done. That's why we need commenting. That's why we are